Hello students, today's agenda is to check homework. We're going to be looking at systems of inequalities and you will be able to work on 5.3. So students will be able to graph systems of inequalities. And so let's start with these two inequalities. And so what we need to do is figure out what the solutions are, where the two shadows, the two shades will meet, and that will be the solutions for these systems of inequalities. And so I'm going to be using different colors to make it easier. And so the first thing that we need to do is figure out in what form this inequality is. And you can see that it has the slope. It always has to be in fraction form. So if it's not, we just put it over 1. And it has the y-intercept, which is my initial point. And again, the name of this, when y is isolated, we say that this is called the slope-intercept form. Okay, and that's when we graph using the initial point, which is the y-intercept, and the slope, which is my rise and my run. So the initial point is -4, which is right here, and then it goes up 2 spaces. My rise is 2, my run is 1, rise is 2, my run is 1, rise is 2, run is 1, rise is 2, run, and so on. Okay, if you see the pattern, it goes from corner to corner using 2 squares, 2 squares, 2 squares, 2 squares. So it would be right here. Okay, that if we wanted all the way to the other side. We already learned that if it has an equal sign, that my line will be solid. Okay, so I'm going to draw a solid line in here. Okay, so the first thing is to find the points. The second step is to figure out if my line is solid or if it's broken or dotted. And the third part is to decide where my shade will be. Will it be in here or will it be on this side of the line? And so we say that when the y is by itself and it says less than, I'm not going to take this into consideration, that's just for the solid or broken line. If y is less than, the less, this is y, the lesser part is on this side of the line, right? This is less than these numbers on y. So my shading will be below the line. Okay. Now I'm going to use a different color. I'm going to use pink for the second one, for the second inequality. Now, what type is this in slope-intercept form? Well, I looked at, I have x and y before my inequality symbol. So this is not in slope-intercept form because y is not isolated. So this is in standard form. And when I have the standard form, I can use the intercepts to find my to be able to graph my line. Sorry. So the oh my goodness, intercepts. I'm missing some words and some letters in there. Intercepts. And the intercepts, I told you in class that it's the viscous, the crossed eyes. Okay, so that's when you put a 0 for y in one of the, remember that for the x-intercept, my y is 0. For the y-intercept, x is 0. The opposite is 0. Okay, so this is the x-intercept. And this will be my y-intercept. Okay, and x is 0. For the x-intercept, y is 0. So the easy way to do it is just, if I know that y is 0, this will disappear, right? Because x plus 0 is 0. So x will be 2. And then when x is 0, I just covered x. And so y will be 2. So now I have my 2 points, my 2 intercepts. And so it's going to be 2, 0, 2, 0. It's right here. And my y-intercept is 0, 2. So it's right here. I look at my line and I see that because of this equal sign, this will be a solid line. Okay, and I'm trying to align. If you notice, this goes from corner to corner using 4 little squares, right? So it should go through here and through here. The more accurate you are, the better. Okay, so that's my 2 intercepts. That's my line, solid line, because it has the equal underneath the greater than. Now when I have the inequality in standard form, meaning the x and the y before the inequality symbol, I have to use a testing point. And I prefer 0, 0. You can use any point, but I prefer this point right here. And I want to know if that point is a true solution or not a solution. Okay, so I'm going to replace, instead of x, it's going to be 0, plus y will be 0, is greater or equal than 2. 0 plus 0 is 0, is greater than 2. And we ask ourselves, is 0 greater or equal than 2? We say no. 0 is less than 2. So this is false. So since this point is not a true solution, and this is my line, that means that none of these points on this side of the 0, 0 are true solutions. So I'm going to go over to the other side of my line, and that's where I'm going to put my shading. Okay, so this is not a solution, so I'm going to go to the other side. Now, what is it that we're looking for? Oops, I'm so sorry. What is it that we're looking for in here? The true solutions of these inequalities is this section right here, where the two colors, the two shades meet, where you have blue and pink together. Okay, those are the solutions. Okay, and so I want you to take a minute to copy that down. I might be moving this because it looks like it's a little shaky. So take a minute to do that. Okay, so let's go to number 2. Again, it's gonna be, close your eyes if you must, please, because I'm gonna be moving this to a different section. Okay, I'm so sorry. I think this is gonna be a little bit more stable in here.